Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Spin into Stillness, our weekly meditation where we make some time for ourselves to have a discussion with ourselves, with our deep me, with what I call the divine me, that divine me that exists in all of us, that is connected to the divine, that is the divine. Or it's just some time that we can relax and have a few moments of peace and quiet and reflection. This is your meditation. You decide what to do with it. I'm just delighted that you're here, either on the live stream or on the recorded version whenever you are choosing to partake. So grateful for you. Again, I'm Reverend Robin Nashok, aka the Spiritual Spinister. And we begin with a couple of steps in our process. We like to set an intention before we get started for our meditation, which again is a great idea to do before any activity that we're about to embark on. To just state to ourselves and to the universe what we hope to have happen as a result of our experiencing this meditation, what we would like to, what we're hoping to achieve, just so that we can articulate to the universe and so we can reflect on what we want. And again, I say this every week. I try more and more to put this into practice before anything that I'm beginning, when I get out of bed or before I go to a meeting or before I have a conversation with someone. I don't always do it though, and I don't always remember to just reflect on what I would like to get out of any situation, whether it's a doctor's appointment or a phone call or something that we've chosen to do before a workout. What do we expect? What do we want from ourselves? What does our deep self, our divine me, expect from us? So it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. It can be one or two words: relaxation, understanding, compassion. Or it can be longer, where we're looking for information about an issue that's going on in our life. We're looking for more feedback about what's going on in our life. And so this is really all up to you. I'm just trying to give you some parameters to work with. And let's set that intention now. And again, I always suggest that we write it down. I write it down on a little slips of construction paper like this because if we were in person, I would collect your construction paper. I would invite you to bring them to me, I should say, and then we would toss them into the flames. Because as we set and articulate our intention, so do we also want to release our attachment to it. Because we want the universe to unfold that intention, to hear that intention, to know that intention, and then we want to be able to let go and let it happen for us, rather than, watching that pot of boiling water or waiting for something to happen. We don't want to wait for it. We want to expect it. And so when you expect it, you're not sitting around waiting. You're just knowing it's going to happen in its due time. I also am writing them. You'll see me writing down my intention twice, because I have decided that my insight about keeping a meditation journal is working for me. And so while I burn one to the flames, I also keep one that I can reflect on from last week, that I can see, hey, I made this happen, or this happened, or this didn't work. Maybe I should try something else. So keeping that little journal, that little backlog of our intentions might be helpful in the long run for you. Again, this is your meditation, your intention. So let's write that intention now. I've written mine, and I'm also going to write another one that I use as a proxy for everybody that is now filling out their intentions. And I write the words, everyone's intentions. Because guess what? I have a bowl that I burn these intentions in that serves as the proxy for the bowl that says everyone's intentions, that we would be using if we were in person. So when I write that, I collect the energy. If you send it to me, if you choose to send it to me, I suggest that you fold it and kind of hold it in the palm of your hands, perhaps as you're meditating, whatever is most comfortable for you. It adds energy to your intention. That energy comes here, and then it gets collected in this one, and then I send it off into the flames as if we had put every single person's intentions inside that burning bowl. So that's part one. Part two, moving right along, we draw an oracle card. So you've set your intention, and in order to give ourselves a little more information on how that intention might happen for us, might be manifest for us, we like to draw an oracle card from the deck called the Star Codes Astro deck. I love this deck. It's served us now for a couple of years. And we are not through the cards, but we're getting there because we've drawn a couple of cards recently that we haven't drawn before. And these cards are just to add some creative prompting to ways for you to think about the intention that you've set. Maybe new ways of thinking about getting that information. Maybe new ways of thinking about how you might open yourself and relax a little more, or get more sleep, or it's just a prompt. It's just giving you more information. You don't have to believe in the mysticism of oracle cards. But if you do, just look at them as, hey, you're getting a little prompt, you're getting a little, something that help you get unstuck or widen your perspective about your own intention or challenge. And you'll hear as I read about this card, which I will from the book that I just showed you, you'll hear that a lot of times it'll frame its writing in terms of what you are looking to explore. And I make note of that as if it's your intention. So it'll make note of an intention that you may be setting for the drawing of this card. And I usually acknowledge that when it happens. So the book and its card archetypes are written with the intention that you are setting your own intention and that it is in a response to that intention. So I draw the top card, I shuffle, and then I draw the top one so that you see that I'm not reaching into the card deck and pulling out my own intuitive draw. I'm choosing the top one. It's all of our card. It is the one single card that is uniquely addressing all of our varied intentions, right? So we're almost ready to draw. So our card for tonight is, are we ready? Again, we may see a card that we've seen before here, but that doesn't mean that it's not a valid card. That card is either uniquely addressing the intention that you set tonight, so it's got a very special place, even though we might have picked it last week or 2 weeks ago or last month. Or it's a reminder, it's a little tap on that shoulder, like, hey, remember this card? Remember this card that resonated so deeply? I think you still have a little more work on it. So either way, there is no mistake. I have shuffled the cards. I shuffled them throughout the week. And so you know that I've shuffled them, but it's just literally the draw that might be the same. And here it is. That card is... interesting. Okay, we have had this card before, but I like it. It's Mars Motion. Motion. So we had action a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? And last week was resources. This week is motion. So look for where we might have inertia, where we might be stuck, and know that this card is the signal that things are unstuck. Poof. And we'll read more about that in a moment. I'm going to put the card up for you all to see for yourselves. And so as I make this draw, and as I read about it, why don't you, there we go. Why don't you look at the artwork of the card, see how it's resonating with the intention that you've set, or if it does. And again, our role here is really not to get to challenge this card to meet the intention. Our role is to figure out how the card is meeting the intention, not if it does, but how it does. So it might feel obscure, it might feel out of reach, or it might hit the nail on the head with motion. We see a big portal. Mars is the god of war and is associated with, male energy, and that is the will energy of the masculine. And let's see what else we have to say about it. And again, as I'm reading, look at the card, determine what is resonating with the intention that you've set. Mars is a mythological god of war and the traditional ruler of Aries and Scorpio. And he speaks of independence, enterprise, and willfulness, aggression, passion, and defenses, including your body's defenses, such as your immune system. Mars takes 1.9 Earth years to go around the zodiac. So your terrible twos, when you have learned to say no and yes and demand things, was the expression of your first Mars return. The action of this card, Mars urges you to take action, any action, but this can get you into trouble. Jump into motion, but stay in the driver's seat and think through the consequences of your moves. Mars is raw energy, and like the motor of a fine sports car, it can take you far if you add wisdom and guidance. Mars wants you to develop your strength and bravery, so work out and develop muscles, or rescue the proverbial underdog. Boldly go where you have not gone before and passionately dive into life. Mars loans you the competitive edge to obtain a fiercely desired goal and teaches you for your yes to truly mean yes and your no, that your no needs to be respected. Know what you want and don't want, and be aware of those desires in the people around you. Learn to fight and fight fairly. Stand your ground with grace and compete against your own personal best. If you are in a difficult situation, meaning the intention that you've set, which is why we're drawing this card, it could take real strength and willpower to transform or escape. You may need to dig in your heels so that you are not pushed around, or pull out your sword to draw a clear line in the sand. Do what needs to be done, just make sure it's the right thing. The challenge of this card, domineering willfulness, misuse of sexuality, anger, belligerence, and a warlike mentality, are the shadow side of Mars. Break the momentum of your situation if your situation heads downhill. Stop for a moment and think through your next move. The gift of this card, the higher note of Mars energy, manifests as a divine guardian, your potent inner first responder who is ready to be the hero in a dangerous situation and protect you and yours. And that potent inner first responder really is your divine me. That is who we are getting in touch with when we go into meditation now. So what is the situation in your life? What have you written down in this little slip of paper? And how is this signal that things are now in motion going to affect the intention of this card? This card starts your awareness that things are in motion, and now you have to take the driver's seat. I have to take the driver's seat. I have to know which way I'm going and which way I want to go and which way I don't want to go. So let's do this. Let's settle in. Let's get ready to meditate on this idea of motion and controlled, specific, thoughtful motion. So I want you to relax. I'm going to grab a little sip of water here. As you relax, find that space in yourself that you can feel relaxed, yet also awake. You don't have to be alert, but you certainly have to be awake. It would be nice to be awake so that you can have this conscious discussion with the divine me. And you can remember what you are experiencing while you're inside this meditative space so that you can come out and then go into be in motion about it, to be in action. So we're going to start this motion by breathing deeply. We're going to inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. We're going to breathe in deeply, and then we're going to exhale more slowly than we inhaled. We're going to do this 3 times. So we're going to do it twice together with our eyes open, kind of keeping our awareness of the card. And then on the 3rd breath, you can allow your eyes to flutter shut. I will put the card back up onto the screen so you can, if you need to review the card during your meditative state, you can kind of open your eyes halfway, take a look at it, get some of those key images back into your mind, and to continue on with it. So, are we ready? Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale. And hold. And exhale. Inhale and hold again. And exhale. And one more deep breath. Inhale. And hold. Oh, it's distracting. And exhale. There we go. If you haven't already, take that breath and close your eyes. Inhale. And hold and exhale. And now, as we allow our breath to return to a natural, comfortable state, our eyes are closed. And just imagine from wherever you've closed your eyes that they're going to close even more. You don't have to squeeze them any tighter. Just imagine your eyes just closing more. You're going deeper into yourself. Breathing in and out. And before we think about the card and our word and our theme of motion this evening, let us think about that intention. The Intention is not a static experience. The intention is one of dynamic movement. That's why we've said it. Movement must happen in order for this intention to come to fruition. And now let us imagine that we are sitting in a sports car. That intention is the ending point on our Google Maps or GPS. We've set that place. And while we're sitting in this sports car, we start the ignition. We put the car in gear. And we look at the open road ahead of us. We can't see the intention right now as we look down that open road, but we know that it is there because it is on our GPS system. Our car is ready to move. Let's put our foot on that gas. Let's begin to move. As we move down this road that is clear, smooth sailing. We are alone in this car, perhaps playing our favorite music, but we are picking up speed on this open road. And we realize that we're on somewhat of an obstacle track as we move in this car quickly. And as we go faster and faster and faster, we know we are going toward our destination of meeting that intention. And we know there's an exit coming up that's going to put us onto a bigger, more congested highway. We follow the direction to move on to that highway. And our understanding as we move down this road to our intention that we must follow the directions. We must know where we're going. We must have faith that our directions are taking us where we want to be. And we must do what we can to remain in motion, including taking rest stops to rejuvenate ourselves or refuel ourselves. We are in the driver's seat toward our own intention. We are moving swiftly. We are following directions. But we are the ones that are driving. We decide how we keep ourselves in motion, which can sometimes mean resting from that motion so that we can pick up and go again. if we keep in mind where we are headed with our intention, we can make choices as the driver to slow down, to speed up, to refuel, and maybe even to go a direction that might be different from the one that is recommended. Swiftly we go, confident we ride. We are the driver of our own motion. No one else. Toward the intention that we've set for ourselves. How do we stay in motion? How do we keep that motion effective and efficient? It's all in our hands. Our passion, our desire, and our willfulness will keep us there in this motion. As long as we apply wisdom and understanding and faith. And now, knowing this and feeling this, we realize that that GPS system is our own divine me as an inner guidance. And so let us just give thanks and gratitude to our divine me for always guiding us, for always having our back when we listen, when we open our hearts and minds to it. Let us thank our divine me. And let us pull this beautiful, swift sports car off to the little rest area. Park it into space. Close our eyes while we're in this space, in this car, and allow ourselves to return to the present in our physical body. Just drift back, nice and comfortably and easy. As we float back into our bodies, we remember that we are breathing. We are breathing deeply, inhaling and exhaling. And to bring ourselves completely back with energy, with excitement and enthusiasm about where we are going with this motion. Let's take 3 quick breaths. Inhaling, exhaling quickly. Inhale again, exhale quickly. And one more deep breath and exhale quickly as we open our eyes together. And we are back. So I hope you were able to travel down that highway toward that intention. We may have not gotten there yet. Chances are we haven't. But we know we're in motion now as a result of just being in this meditation. Motion has been set. And so what are we going to do with it? How are we going to drive? How are we going to listen? This is our assignment. This is our mission if we're willing to accept it this week. So I look forward very much to hearing your response. I did not give my pitch to like and subscribe. Please like this video, subscribe to whatever page you heard it from, and also to share your experience, to let me know that you're here. So say hello if you can, that'd be lovely. And then also to let me know what's going on, if this resonated, if this made sense, if you are on that road in motion. We want to hear about it. This is a community. This is a community, whether we're all talking to each other or not. I know you're out there, I know you're listening, and I know you're watching. So let's just make that community known if you can. So I'm going to send our intentions out into the world, into the universe. And as this burns, so do I set the other one in, everyone's intentions. And as it catches flame, we know it's going out there into the world, into the ether. We've released our attachment to it, and we're ready to look for it as it becomes manifest in our week ahead. So thank you for being here. I see Sue is on the Zoom. Thank you. I am going to check to see if anybody else is anywhere else. But please say hello if you can. I will be most grateful. And again, I'm refreshing the Facebook page. I often do not see Facebook stuff until later. So with that in mind, if you're on Facebook tonight watching and participating, I'm grateful. I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for anybody that's on YouTube. My friend Ria is always on YouTube. And I am celebrating a 30-year anniversary with my friend Ria, coming up in just 2 days. 30 years ago, we met here in Washington, D.C., and have been involved in each other's lives ever since. She lives in Indiana, but we are always in each other's hearts and minds. And so I wish you a happy 30th anniversary publicly, my beautiful friend. I love you. And I will meet you all back here next week. We are now going to be completely in December. This is our first December meditation. We'll see you here next week for our second. And thank you again. I love you. Be wonderful. Be glorious.